Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be talking about the Adventure Time spin-off Fionna and Cake. Now I've been a fan of Adventure Time since it first premiered back in 2010, and I could even say a little before that because I remember when it was just a minor short on Nickelodeon on one of their Oh Yeah Cartoons series. So this is really fun for me to watch, to see them keep doing stuff even after their Distant Lands had ended. So let's just get started, shall we? As of right now, there are only 2 episodes, and I will be doing another review of it more towards the end of the series, because I just want to get the first impressions and what could be going on later on down right now. So for now, let's just get into the story as we know it. Our first episode opens up with Fionna and her cat Cake living in a world of the gender-bent versions of the Adventure Time characters. But not only that, them in a more human society living as regular people. But the interesting part about this is that we get the idea that things aren't quite what they seem. It seems that she's having dreams of alternate worlds, of different hers, and that's been going on not this whole time, but rather recently. And the same could be said for almost all the characters, because in the bus scene we do see that all of them express that they've all had different dreams of the Adventure Time characters that we know, which is an interesting touch and will probably come back later on in the story. But as of right now, the story so far for the first episode is just that we are learning about the world that she lives in, how it's much closer to our world, or a fantasized version of this world, and that she is relatively a nobody in this world, that she is somebody just going day to day like anybody else. May have a job, she lost a job, now she's looking for another one. And it's really just to show the blandness of her reality and how she is at accepting it, and in which this case she is not. She wants something more, she wants something better. So now we get an idea of her personality, of what she wants from the overarching series. Now, episode 2 is where we go back to our regular universe, the one with Finn, Jake, and all of them. But this time our main protagonist in this world is Simon Pentecoff, also known as the Ice King from the original series, because we know at the end of his storyline in the Adventure Time series he does lose the crown and goes back to being Simon after a minute. And in this minute we see that he has not adjusted well to the world of Ooh, into the world of magic, into the world that, you know, of the future. He is, like he says, he's a man from the past. He is basically a Stone Age person. And even if there are other humans in this world, he cannot relate to them. They're futuristic people. He does not fully relate to anybody. And the only one that he can relate to is Finn, and that's only because they've known each other for longer than anybody else. Him and Marceline are still talking, as we could see later on in the episode. But he could tell that he's a real fish out of water situation in this. And even though him and Finn go on a quest later on in the episode, that just becomes more prevalent. He's not used to this world of danger. He's not used to the idea of magic being around, and he finds himself missing being Ice King, missing being oblivious to the world of who he is, of what is around him. And that's sad, because all we know from the original series is that he was trying to not be Ice King. He was trying to get out of being Ice King. And now he just finds himself wanting to go back to it, and wanting to bring the magic back in his life, for lack of a better term. And from there we see that the worlds between Fionna and Cake and Simon are merging, because we do see the Cake, who is more of an animal at this point, not like the one we've seen in the Fionna and Cake mini episodes from the original show. She acts more of like a regular house cat. We can see this Cake going between worlds through Simon's head. And that's where we pretty much ended on the first 2 episodes, leaving a lot of mystery, leaving a lot of questions, and leaving a lot of theories that could be let out. It's a very good start, and definitely builds on the characters that we've known already, and doesn't just make Fionna and Cake carbon copies of Finn and Jake. It makes them their own set of people with their own set of wants and desires. And as for Simon, we get to see him develop even further, in this world, becoming something more than what he already is. And that's exciting to see because a lot of people loved the Ice King at the end of the day than how he was originally shown in the original show. The animation's really good from what you can expect from Adventure Time. Their style's very modern, cartoon, but it does manage to keep enough of a difference, enough of the wow factor in there to make you pay attention, to make the colors seem pretty good. And even the beginning sequence in the first episode of Fionna and Cake, the whole dream sequence, is a new direction that we haven't seen Adventure Time take. It was different, it was unique, and it was fun. The animation's always been good with Adventure Time, but I feel like they're really trying to test the boundaries in this. And we see that a lot in the intro for the whole Fionna and Cake series that's shown in episode 2, when we see Fionna switching between different, I want to say, realities of herself and Finn. You can see the difference in animation really coming out and kind of showing that, this is going to be something that's visually pleasing, but also really recognizable because, as I said, this is for fans of the Adventure Time series. Nothing's too far off the mark and nothing is really different compared to it. I think the animation got smoother. I think it got a little more touched up than it was in the original show. But overall, they keep a lot of the original themes the same, which is fun, which is interesting, and I can't wait to see how they develop that more as we go along. Now, it'd be impossible for me to actually count all the references in just these 2 episodes. There are so many that are going on. Just in the first episode, we could have almost 100, considering everyone is just a replica of the originals from the Adventure Time universe. But I'm going to talk about the bigger ones. If you guys want to list off some of the ones that I didn't count, please put it down in the comment section. I would like to really hear them and digest them. Maybe even for the final episode, I would like to put them in. But we'll see. Now, the first big reference we're going to make is the Simon and Marcy reference. In the episode Simon and Marcy from the Adventure Time series, we get the Cheers song played by Simon, which is funny. And we get 2 times we see Cheers in the first and second episodes, which is funny. I don't know if it's somebody's favorite episode, but it is a good little reference and nod to the episode I previously stated. When we see Finn, we do see the Jake tattoo on his chest from the Distant Lands Marceline and Princess Bubblegum episode, hinting that this is still after the events of Distant Lands, but right before the episode Together Again. We do see one of Jake's kids, TV, making an appearance as a sidekick for Finn at this one. So that kind of hints that maybe Finn's been hanging out with all of Jake's kids throughout his life, which is interesting because we do see Jake's granddaughter in the, like I said, Together Again, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum episode. So that might be the direction they're going with that. The weird choose goose we see that's trapped by Simon, that's from the Distant Lands Peppermint Butler episode, I believe. We do see him, so it'd be interesting to see how Simon caught him and what he's been using it for. It kind of reminds me of the Magic Man episodes where he often captured people and used them for his magic, and I think that's definitely the direction they're gonna try to go with this. Still interesting and still fun to put that in there. We do get small references of Huntress Wizard still being around and still being with Finn. That's just a nice touch they added to show that maybe that relationship really did go somewhere at the end. We won't know until they bring it up more, maybe throughout this series. I hope so, but we probably won't. But we can always hope, see how it goes. Those are all the references I'm willing to put in right now. I would like to add more, maybe towards, like I said, the last video I'll do on this topic, coming as soon as the season ends. So we'll see then. Please leave down in the comments if there are some that you would like to note yourself, and I may have and probably did miss. So yeah. Now, for right before my final thoughts, I'm gonna do a quick predictions moment, because this is gonna be a long-running series, so I would like to add what I think is gonna happen in the future. So just bear with me for a minute. the whole Tree of the World scene, I will think that maybe that's the same place that Simon found the Ice King crown, because he does make reference to that and thinks it's weird that it does look similar to what he remembers. I do think that whole area will have more importance as we go along, because when Finn shows off the scratches that he received from the that plant bear, they seem to be growing, so that may lead to like maybe a zombie kind of infection or something like that. Or it could just lead to nothing. It could just be a fun little throwaway in there to get us off the trail. I do remember in the trailer that was shown, the final trailer, that we do see a older Finn with a Jake. And I don't think that means that Jake in this world is alive, because they keep hinting, such as TV and them, are hinting that he's not around anymore. So I think that might be hinting that there's going to be some sort of weird interdimensional thing going on. Like maybe adult Finn's going to meet a younger Finn, and at that time Jake. And I think that's why Finn's going to be a little more happier at that point. Because everybody hints that Jake is no longer with us at this point. I do not think this is the ending of Finn's story this season, because we do know Finn's much older than in the Together Again series. So I think this is just going to be like about Fionna and Cake specifically. I don't really think anything's going to happen to our original cast as of right now. All in all, these were very good first 2 episodes. I think they really got to the main topics of the series, and I do expect them to go along with the characters they're portraying. The characters are fun, they're interesting. You can tell that this is taking a much more mature tone without being too much of a mature tone, without it reaching into the realm of like an adult comedy. I do think that this definitely has possibilities in the future, and that it can be a very interesting and fun addition to the overall Adventure Time storyline. And I'm going to continue watching it myself, and I can't wait to see what happens. So please come back towards the end of the series and we'll do another review, and I can't wait for that. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. Please come by on Wednesday. We'll be doing a quick review of the Netflix One Piece series, and maybe even comparing it to the original manga/anime. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See ya.